Anthony Bourdain once said there's a guy in my head, and all he wants to do is lay in bed all day long, smoke pot, and watch old movies and cartoons. My life is a series of stratagems, to avoid, and outwit that guy. Who is that guy for you, and what do you do to avoid him? I hate mornings. I don't like waking up. I don't like breakfast as a genre or activity. I don't see a good reason to be anywhere ever before 10 a.m. I started forcing myself to wake up early and go to the gym before work, and I hate it so much, but it makes me feel so goddamn good all day long. It's a shitty healthy dose of morning endorphins that stops me from getting sleepy after lunch, keeps me energized after work, get a better night's sleep. It sucks so much, and it sucks even more that it improves every aspect of my day, because now if I stop I know I'll just start having shitty bad days again, and it'll be my dumbass lazy fault with a simple fix. That guy wants to settle for anything out of fear of nothing better coming later. That guy is okay with the dead-end job, the abusive relationships, and no master's degree. I tell that guy it's never gotten me anywhere. It's the definition of stuck, and I have no intention of being stuck anymore. That guy's kicking my ass right now. You gotta fight back, man. Hess a lazy stoner, he can't be that good of a fighter. This was somehow insanely philosophical to me. It used to be eat cheap pizza, chain smoke, and play video games. I changed a lot of those habits to healthier ones. Goddamn, I miss smoking. 6+ years smoke free, and I still crave it as much as the day I quit. Same for me. Just over 6 years, and I could go back to a pack a day tomorrow if I was lazy. Had my last cigarette and never cheated once, as it would be a pack a day again instantly. The worst are the dreams where I am smoking and I wake up in a panic. That guy's cousin lives in my head. I go to AA meetings to avoid and outwit him. I used to have a little sign on my desk that said the worst possible feeling is when the person you are meets the person you could have been. It was there to encourage to pursue my goals rather than procrastinate on games, Reddit, etc. I think it's time I dug that sign out again. Ouch. Worse than that Ben Franklin quote, a man can die at 25 and not be buried until he's 75. Man, funeral companies were hella inefficient back then. The guy who wants to go streaking during the Super Bowl halftime show. I avoid him by remembering that prison is not a pleasant place to be. Bold of you to assume I avoid him. My whole life is a series of stratagems to enable that guy to spend as much time in bed watching cartoons as he can without ending up homeless or unable to pay for weed. Excuse me, but I am you. We came to an agreement and take turns occupying the same body. It's me from 5:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays, and he gets evenings, weekends, and holidays. All that guy wants to do is do Reddit and play video games. I don't do anything to avoid him. I have the exact same guy in my head. I quit smoking pot years ago, before I hit 30. I can still stay in bed all day on some days. What keeps me from doing it? Having a 24 hours lay-in on my laptop. Too often are commitments I've made to myself, friends, and employers. Back in the day, pot made it really easy to give up on those commitments. I miss pot, but I don't miss those times in general, which keeps me from going back. Precisely, you've said it very well. For me at least, getting high just made me very content with doing absolutely nothing, which is fine sometimes, but I was high all the time and then doing nothing, all the time. I was so bored and boring to myself that I had to quit smoking and other drugs completely. It's only been a few years. It still feels like a work in progress, but I'm getting happier with who I am. I like Randy Marsh's quote about it from South Park. Well, Stan, the truth is marijuana probably isn't gonna make you kill people, and it most likely isn't gonna fund terrorism, but, well, son, pot makes you feel fine with being bored, and it's when you're bored that you should be learning some new skill or discovering some new science or being creative. If you smoke pot, you may grow up to find out that you aren't good at anything. I have chronic severe depression, going 25 years now. It's not completely clear what I have, but it comes and goes. Not sad, not bipolar, not MDD, we simply don't know, and medication doesn't work. However, it's never really gone. It's more like manageable or unmanageable. The voice is either telling me I should lie down and just give up, or it's telling me that soon I will be lying down and giving up again. My manageable moments are obviously filled with as much joy as I can pack in there, and every night before going to bed I tell the voice to suck it. Today was my day, not yours. When it's unmanageable and the voice tells me to give up, I try to fight him as long as I can, and when I start to agree with him I always manage to end it with "but not today." It's kept me alive for this long. I hope I can keep going like this for a while. That guy is my ADHD. I probably have an extreme case where my meds, which are at high doses, hardly even work anymore. The best way I combat this urge to do something fun, play games, or goof off is to remove myself from any place of temptation. Cut it off before you get the thought of even doing something pleasurable. What I do is that I find empty classrooms at my college and study or do work in there. I will purposively drive away from my home, which is full of games, food, fun, and comfort, to a classroom just so I don't get the urge, and even if I do, I've created a barrier that takes too much guilt and effort of driving back and doing something fun. He just wants to win the lottery and sit on his couch watching dark comedies, drinking until it kills him. I avoid this by remembering that my mother would be very sad if that happened, and that I want to love someone, like really be in love, at least one more time before I go. The guy in my head wants to lay in my pillow top bed with soft sheets, my Buffy blanket, memory foam pillows, and sleep 18 hours a day, and hide from everyone, punctuated by gorging myself on good takeout food, getting raving drunk, and just watch endless history documentaries and plan travel trips for next year. If that's all I did, I would also probably take up smoking pot again, too. I accept that she exists, and love her back to health. I relate to this. The girl in my head is constantly trying to get out of doing things, everything like going to work, going to school, socializing, etc. Anything besides sitting at home in my chair, smoking a joint, and watching some coming-of-age drama/comedy. I have to force myself every day to do all the stuff that being an adult human requires of me. It's hard. I think almost everyone feels this way. That girl is depression. She's definitely starting to kick my ass now. All she wants to do is lay in bed, self-harm, and cry. I take my medications and persevere, but it's difficult. The guy in my head not letting me lay in bed all day smoking pot and watching cartoons. Closes Pornhub. I dunno what you're talking about. That guy wants to die. Unsure how to avoid him. Copious amounts of caffeine seems to do okay. Hope everything is going okay, man. It's okay if it's not. PM if you want to. I'm no stranger to that sort of feeling. But we are both commenting here, so we certainly haven't lost yet. I figure that I may as well share about my guy. My guy hates me, and what little bit of a life I've built for myself. The guy in me just wants to lay in bed all day, every single day, until I age out and die. Don't even get me started on the other thing the guy wants to do to me. And, yeah, it's pretty similar to Bourdain's in terms of its other cravings. To fight back, I try listening to music that fits my emotions at the moment. I try keeping my hands busy, and luckily I enjoy cooking. Deck building for Magic the Gathering can also help. I try to be creative and draw more. I try to exercise. I go out and tell jokes at open mics. I try to do everything that my guy doesn't want me to do. I want to be better than the guy that my guy wants me to be. He does have a grip on me most days, but I try my hardest to get out of it. Enjoying the content? Don't forget to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every day. While you're smashing that like button, here's a meme to entertain you. That guy for me is someone who is constantly grumpy, never wants to get out of pajamas, and loves being drunk and high. To avoid said guy, I make a conscious effort to stay productive, motivate myself, and never drink alone. Holy shit, Anthony said that? Damn, I miss him even more. I just want to grill for God's sake. He's the voice that tells me to stop what I'm doing and end it all. To avoid him I just ignore what he says. At the moment he's wrong. Have to say, I am touched by Ops' attentiveness to responses displaying distress. Wholesome. I really only thought that this wouldn't get any more than like 10 actual replies. Literally not even 3 hours later I have thousands of likes and comments. But, nevertheless, I am still reading or trying to read, upvoting, and replying to every comment that I can. Good news is that if I haven't already reached out and asked how someone's feeling, most of the time other people already have. The internet is a boat today. I fucked up with things sometimes. Ah, RuPaul caller her the inner saboteur. It sounds cliche but it's so true, and that guy never really goes away. You just have to learn to stay one step ahead. That guy is me. Tried doing push-ups, gave all the motivation I needed to get off my ass cause I was so pathetic. If you think about it, if you can only do like one push-up, that's maximum effort, so that one push-up, or whatever exercise, is at its most efficient for gains. By thinking this way, doing the hardest thing is actually the most efficient and thus lazy, and great for you. The one that wants to do something drastic to qualify for Social Security disability and then, jobless, lounge around all day drinking beer, watching whatever, and roaming around GTA 5 as I eat the gum and cheese. Just remind that inner guy that disability is actually pretty hard to get. I have 3 separate, major diseases, one of which gives me several weekly seizures, and was told no. I just had an appeal hearing last month, after waiting 2 years for it. My guy wants to smoke weed and play guitar all day. It just happens to be my job and I'm trying to turn it into an originals career now with a new band. I got tired of fighting him, so I just embraced the fucker. I'm a microbiology major, pre-med and all, but sometimes I really just want to stay at home and be a cute little housewife. I want to have 3 kids and be a mom. I love the idea, but I know I couldn't be truly happy with that. I'm a current law student, 2 leaders, and don't want anything more than to meet a lady lawyer who wants me to be a stay-at-home dad. I also know it would get old fast, but hey, daydreaming never hurts. Deleted. My guy just wants to sleep, all fucking day. Oh, I am supposed to avoid him? Oof. The guy doesn't believe I'll ever be happy. He thinks I'll ruin every relationship I'm in and give up on every endeavor I do. My hobbies and family help me out. Mine tells me to end it, and that even all the hurt that comes with it, that it's better to leave everyone and everything and start over. He just wants to start over. Started selling all my stuff to appease him. You are not alone. I'm not the one to tell you that listening to that guy will be the wrong decision. To be honest, I don't know. But do know that every life is worth something. You are worth something, and this world will be different without you 3. Me right now. I finally admitted this week I am depressed. Now I have to do something about. Poor Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. My guy doesn't want to bother being alive. I avoid him by positive thinking, recognizing mental distortions, therapy, and increasingly exercise. I don't avoid him. I hate all this climb the ladder, work constantly, self-improvement shit. It's just about making you feel bad about yourself in the hopes you will buy some shit you don't need. As far as I can tell, all it does is make people desperately unhappy. They become perfectionists and they are never good enough for themselves. I work hard, I live a quiet life, and you can bet your ass I will spend my free time relaxing and engaging in personally enjoyable activities. I don't owe this world my best self, because I'm fine as I am. I certainly don't need to buy any motivational material or other cliched shite to make myself feel better. I don't need a program, I don't need to pay a man to show me how to do incredibly basic gym moves, and I don't need any fucking entrepreneurial seminars. Basically fuck off and let me spend my goddamn Sundays getting high and enjoying what little time I have on this earth. That guy for me is the same as his. Fuck. Son of a bitch gets nothing. All he wants to do is drink his life away. Hess already had 10 years of my life, he doesn't get a second more. Same guy, he wins most days, but I'm trying. So the guy, gal, in my head is kind of a depression-riddled monster. She tells me I'm worthless, useless, will never amount to anything. I go to therapy once a week to learn ways to outsmart her and prove her wrong. I don't think it will ever stop, but I'm learning ways to cope. Same thing as Tony described. I used to tack lots of Adderall to chain that mofo down. He's what I call the devil, but really he's just depression and anxiety due to BS like existentialism. Anyways, treat yourself well, even the demons. They're part of you too. True healing doesn't come from pills. I found that out the hard way. I've been recently dealing with a pretty tough breakup, one that I caused due to me not being mentally well. I decided to start going to therapy once a week, and I've been pushing myself out of bed every single morning to go for a 30 minutes run before work, and after work I hit the gym. I'm just trying to be a better person for myself and actually be happy with my life for once. I know things don't come overnight, but with progress I'll reach my goal eventually. If I have the will, multiple strategies work, including eating properly, exercising, meditation, talking to friends, talking to family, keeping clear priorities of what I want to do. Unfortunately, every now and then something trips everything up, and the will to outmaneuver the guy in my head isn't there. That guy is all the more persuasive when you feel like a, to quote Kyle Kinane, stripped bare toothless cog spinning freely and ineffectually in the working machine of society.